right. Let's take a look at Tesla because this is the crazy bubble stock, the Nasdaq bubble, Tesla thing. Um, but we just got some down candles, so I want to take a look at the chart and see what's going on. There's not like any crazy news about Tesla other than they just got a giant red candle this week. But well, anyway, this is the Feb 2018 crash. It looks so tiny now. It was so huge when it happened. And this is the beginning of the Tesla bubble. And here's the higher trend line of the second leg of the Tesla bubble. And now we have just broken down. So, yeah. So this is a big consolidation sideways, which generally follows through. And then, follow through and kind of pin it out back to support. But we got a false breakout top out of it, and not only broke down but broke down under the bubble support line. And so it hasn't back tested it yet. Just say where we are. So I mean, we're under the support line, and yeah, it's just kind of breaking down and messing around. So usually you'll back test the bubble line when you break through it, like back test it once, and then sometimes you come back and back test it again later before you like really crash out. But this is a bad spot. It could be a false breakdown, and then it would just shoot up here from where it is, or just what I drew. It probably will pull down, back test, maybe come down some more. So yeah, Tesla's in a weird spot. And then I guess I just want to mention the entire S&P. On Tesla, I guess I should mention that Michael Burry increased his short positions on Tesla again. So that's generally a dangerous sign. When the best short seller, the famous guy from The Big Short is shorting you. And then also Michael Burry was like the godfather of the GameStop short squeeze. Like he's the one who bought a bunch of GameStop up and started all the interest in it. And yeah, so just I guess on the general market, the GameStop short squeeze is not over. Like the news is like saying, oh, it was crazy, but it's over. It's not over. Like the short, and this is not financial advice or any such thing. I just heard from my friend Diamond Hands that the short interest is still above 100%. It's still majorly short. Everybody in Wall Street Bets crowd is holding. They're not selling. It held above 320, which was another several $billion on interest. And everybody is saying they'll hold it as long as they need to. And every time they try to force the price down and close like one position, it's going to just keep shooting the stock up higher. And everybody's holding. So the short squeeze is on. The Melvin Capital, a hedge fund, apparently already needed a bailout or got a bunch of loans and potentially is getting bought out by Citadel now. And yeah, that's a huge kind of threat to the market. As far as like crazy stuff happening, it's like, I mean, if that thing goes like really goes infinite parabolic, like markets could crash or close or who knows what. There's all kinds of fraud investigations starting. It's getting kind of crazy. That's the GME, the GME short squeeze. So GameStop is, shot off from whatever 18. It's at 320 or something now. and people have their sell limits at like $5,000. Like nobody's selling at 320. So that's what's happening on the short squeeze. So opening tomorrow should be really interesting to see where this thing opens, and then just the general S&P as well. The S&P is breaking down out of its channel and has already backtested and come down. As far as like a breakdown and a backtest, like S&P, the whole market has already done that. Tesla hasn't done its own backtest. And then if you look at the NASDAQ, it's broken down and maybe backtested a little backtest off of its channel. So this is like a market top kind of breakdown look. And, we're up out of the top. Let me go out to go out to daily, I guess. Just where the entire market is right now is, we have this crazy huge volatility zone that we've been since 2018. We've been crashing and going up and down across this volatility zone, and now we've broken out of the top, and we're just ripping back down. So this could be, well, I guess there's kind of three scenarios I'm looking at for the entire market, and Tesla should be right along what the market's doing. So if this thing pulls down to the top of the volatility zone and stays and bounces up, then we're going into like hyper bubble territory. Like we're out of the top of this thing and just like bubble trajectory. The market will crash up. If it holds above here, the market's going to crash up. If it breaks through and holds and backtests underneath here, we're probably headed down to support in here somewhere, like a pretty good pullback. It's possible we continue farther. There's not a, I mean, the top of the last peak is a good target here. The top of these ones is a good target. So there's a bunch of kind of spots if it starts breaking through where to look, but I feel like Tesla is like the headliner in this bubble movement, and I feel like Tesla, if it's gonna come down, probably will lead it down, along with the other FANG stocks, Apple and Amazon and Facebook and Google, which are all kind of holding. I guess I could take a look at some of those. I think Amazon did a false. Let's check it out. Did like a false breakout. Let's see where it ended. Yeah, Amazon looked like it was going to break out high, and then it just froze and pulled back in, but it hasn't really broken down yet. I think Facebook was looking kind of lame. Yeah, Facebook, similar. It's in a channel. It broke down off the top, but it hasn't like broken out of the channel. What am I doing? Google, Alphabet. Is just kind of pulling back. It's on a pretty mean trajectory. It doesn't look bad. It's just been kind of killing it. And what was the other one? Did I do Apple? Is on a breakout from a previous consolidation zone. So Google and Apple are breaking out, but kind of pulling back. And then it looks like Facebook and Amazon are still in the consolidation zone. So I think if the Google and the Amazon, not Google, Facebook and Amazon are really good FANG stocks to look at. If they break down out of that consolidation zone and backtest there, that would be really negative. If they bounce off the bottom of the consolidation zone, it would be positive. So we're in a really interesting spot here. Like there's insane market threatening activity with the big short squeeze, and we are, I mean, pretty much the top of this consolidation zone on the S&P is where those FANG stocks are going to be testing their range, and we'll see if this thing holds. I would imagine we'll at least make it to there. As far as like coming down, we're at least going to come down and test this, and then we'll see if we break through or do a false breakthrough or back test and continue. Um, let's see. Yeah, this kind of range, this range off the top of these guys is probably like if we're going to back test, we'll probably get here. We'll probably get to this level here and probably back test if we're going to do a back test. And then we have this kind of range here at the top of the last peak to look at where you might bounce off of it or do something weird. And then I feel like this kind of zone above this kind of support area is where you have to just kind of reevaluate the move. If it's going to move down like those, there's a lot of areas where it could find support. So it's a ton of stuff to break through. But I mean, that's huge moves down. That's monstrous. Like that eats like half of the freaking the entire year, the whole run. That eats like half of it, and it could do that in one move right now, if the market really breaks down. But ooh, I don't know. Like I think the financial conditions and the growth and everything is up now. So like the general market conditions look like they would be trying to hold this they'd be trying to hold this rally. The momentum is still up. I mean, the short term momentum obviously just pulled down a bit, but all the medium and long term momentum is still completely up. Here we can flip through momentum and check it a bit. Um, I'll do. I'll look at the momentum on the. I'll do like an S&P one, like an S&P one. This is a Tesla video, but anyway, as far as Tesla goes, I think checking out the other FANG stocks is important to see if they're breaking down, like the big Nasdaq stocks and the general market too, just to see if we're getting in trouble. And then of course the GameStop short squeeze like could freaking blow the market up. It could create a huge liquidation. Like if GameStop squeezes all of the hedge funds where they have to sell all their positions and use all their cash, like they're already taking loans to avoid doing that, but like if they get in trouble where they have to liquidate all their freaking long positions to cover the short squeeze, um, that would be all the huge big boys freaking selling, liquidating everything. Like that would be a liquidation that looks something like this. That could happen. It could happen in the next week or two. It could happen tomorrow. So that is something to look out for. If that does not happen, the general market conditions are more likely to freaking do a crash up. But it's, I mean, I think it's going to be pretty dramatic what happens right now. I think we're going to either uh, just keep our stimulus check stuff coming and keep the growth increasing, and we're going to continue this, you know, expansionary kind of chart, and even go into territory because we're up here in bubble zone now. So I mean, I think it could even like accelerate up and go parabolic if it does crash up, or you know, the pending black swan that could happen is already on the table, like starting. And so if that happens, I mean, goodness, I mean, it could really get crazy. Like that black swan could be bigger than the last one. Like this was the international banking system getting a big squeeze, a liquidation squeeze, and then the the Fed like doing QE took treasuries out of the international banking system where they were even more squeezed and like extended the downside until the Congress was issuing more treasuries. But this squeeze is more of a real thing that's like threatening freaking hedge funds and the entire banking system, and like it could be like a forced sell off if it really does the infinity squeeze. So all right, that's yeah, the Tesla kind of Nasdaq FANG look right now. just a little scary. If it breaks down, this is not financial advice, but if we break down under here, you may want to consider all of your FANG and NASDAQ situation. If we hold, if we hold, it may be like spot for call options because I mean it might just freaking blow up over the next like 3 or 4 months. So like this line right here and how we react off of it is like the difference between buying like short term call options out like 6 months maybe or like long term freaking puts out for like 2 years or something because it could freaking destroy the market if like this stuff destroys the financial system or something like that. So that's just a little update. Uh, not much going on. Just like the most dramatic stuff in the history of the stock market, and the biggest thing like since Bitcoin right now. This the big short squeeze. So yeah, what is this Tesla? I don't even know if I have a playlist for this, but yeah, check out my yeah. I have like I don't even remember if I have a playlist for this one, but whatever. Check out my playlist, hit the like button, all that stuff, and happy trading.